process of finding your style, like the sound that represents you?
So I always came up in the like goth scene and like minimal electronics and that sort of stuff from the 80s, like Fad Gadget and things like that. And that stuff was very noisy, like Cabaret Voltaire. So I was always into that like darker, noisy sound, and I was DJing goth for quite a long time, about 5 or 6 years, before I really just properly discovered techno. And at the same time, I was really into, and I still am into, noise and ambient music and soundtrack music. So when it came to making music in the first place, I could never play an instrument or anything. And I know nothing about music theory and whatever, but I always wanted to make music. And it ended up being like, I want to make music, but I can't play anything. So what am I going to do? And I just put it off. But then I just started kind of making noises and kind of soundscape stuff and just random things, which were like 15 minutes long and whatever. And then I kind of stumbled into a techno club in London called Chaos, which was on the floor above where I was DJing goth music one night. And if I remember right, it might have been Phase Fatale that was playing, and it was kind of like, okay, this is cool because it's kind of just cool sounds over kick drums. So I thought, okay, I'll add a bit of that to my music, and I was like into techno, but I never really like seen where it could go and how, and like I wasn't quite exposed to how experimental it could get and all of that. But then it kind of came about mixing because I was into techno, I kind of slowly figured out how to make that. And I was already making like my ambiences and all that sort of thing. So I kind of put them together, and now my music is basically, there's rarely ever any like synth lines or anything like that. It's pretty much just noise and ambience over kick drums, and that's how I like it. And it seems to have gotten progressively harder and faster and a bit darker too. So at the beginning, it was slow, more ambient, more dark, but more chill. Now it just seems like everything I make just ends up being ridiculously hard.
That's an unusual leap. I see that a lot of hard techno and industrial DJs do.
Yeah. It's been fun though.
It's been a fun ride.
Yeah.